Gura team, welcome back. Welcome back to another First Look, First Hour with me, Long John Silver. Thank you for joining me very much. I am very excited to have a look at this civilization and building game, which is called Rimworld. It's called the console edition because there is an edition on PC. So if you don't know, Rimworld came out in about 2013, developed by this chap here, Tynan Sylvester. And it's a crazy civilization sim builder with lots of crazy, funky, crazy nonsense things going on. And I'm reliably led to believe that some of the mechanics that are in RimWorld, probably the best way to describe it, are the kind of mechanics that have found their way into an awful lot of games that really somewhat copied and tried to emulate RimWorld. And if you have seen my Stranded Alien Dawn series, it is almost exactly a carbon copy of RimWorld. So that is certainly that. But RimWorld came first, I'm led to believe. So we're going to have a look at it. And we're going to have a look at a couple of things because I have already started a colony, and I've done that because there's quite a bit of time taken up in starting a colony. But I'll go through that with you as if we are setting up a colony, so you know what it looks like for your first hour. There is a tutorial. By all means, really do go ahead and do it. It's not very long. It's about 15 minutes, and it really teaches you very, very little if you're not used to these kinds of games. That means that this game is, as they say, not going to hold your hand, or as other people might say, learning as you make mistakes along the way. And I guess that's kind of meant to be part of the fun. So I guess, for full disclosure, this is not the first time that I have set up a colony. And my colony, it didn't last very long at all because I think I made some basic mistakes. Hopefully my new colony will not. But we'll get to that in a minute. But if you are starting this game, you start off with this scene, or this screen, where you choose your scenario, where you have what appears to be the fairly bog standard one, which is called Crash Landed, which is the three of you awake in your crypto sleep. I'm thinking that means cryo sleep, sarcophagi. You have Lost Tribe, which is quoted as difficult. You have Rich Explorer, which is quoted as especially difficult. You then have Naked Brutality, which is extremely difficult. And then you have Custom, which you do yourselves. So I guess we're going to start with Crash Landed. So if you start with Crash Landed, you then have these different quote-unquote storytellers. What they mean here is that you have a situation where they are bringing you challenges in various bits and pieces. You have Cassandra, which is the normal one, Phoebe, which is a little bit easier, and you have Randy Random, which is quote-unquote unforgiving. It is a tricky game, so I'm actually starting with that, just so that we're clear. You then have, obviously, whether you want to be peaceful, whether you want to be a community builder, whether you want an adventure story, and so on. Losing is fun. Potentially unfair. Choose adventure is my advice. Then you have commitment, which is you can only save when quitting, or you can save and load at any time. I prefer to use reload at any time when I'm playing, only because I'm streaming, and sometimes I have to stop and skip pieces and do all the rest of it, and so on and so forth. You can do whatever you like. You've then got your seed, which is, a particular design of the world, so you can save that, make a note of that. You might find the world particularly enjoyable, and you might want to play it again, or you might find the world particularly onerous and never want to play it again. Either way, you can do that. You have different kinds of globe coverage, pardon me, which obviously then talks about whether you're generating a fuller world or not. You have rainfall type, temperature type, population, and so on. We'll just leave it as it is. And you get onto generating your world. So then you have your world, and you need to decide where it is on your world you're going to go. I don't know if there's another bit of the world that we just can't see yet, or whether this is all you get. So I'm not sure. Realistically speaking, cold, what is this? This is like tundra. It'll show you the thing that, tundra, so it shows you there. This is boreal forest. You have temperate forest, arid shrubland, down to desert, and you have tropical rainforest and a whole bunch of different biomes that are all kinds of things you need to deal with there. Obviously, you know, you pick a desert. That's going to be a hard place to start with. So you might want to pick something more temperate or boreal or wherever. In terms of what all these symbols mean, these are all different kinds of factions. So you have the Thialans here, who are neutral. The Nahanera, who are hostile. The Covenant of Braga, who are neutral. The Olga, who are hostile. Union of Quetros, who are hostile. And the Pistol Men, who are a hostile pirate gang. And the various affiliations and various other bits and pieces associated on the side. So obviously, starting down here right next to a pirate gang in a desert might not be a great idea for you. You might want to say, well, who are these people? The purple people, the Thialans. If you start down here somewhere in Mount Orange, which is a tropical rainforest next to the Thialans, you might just actually be fine. So let's pick that. The next thing you need to do is you need to pick the characters. You've got a choice of 8, and you can pick 3 of them. Now, a couple of things I will caution. First off, biological age and chronological age is very interesting, but you'll see here that the biological age of this person is 74. So, is that the kind of person you want to be bringing along? Bringing along? That might be a thing. So you probably might want to pick people who are relatively younger. Is what I would say. And then there's a brief bio on each of them. A lot of them are fairly the same. They kind of grow around. You've got Shelter Childs. I've not seen Child's Biomedical Assistant before. I don't think I've seen quite a few of these before, actually. Then you've got their various traits. So some are shooting, melee, not very good at mining, not very good at cooking. So when you are picking these, you might want to consider picking, you know, this person is very good at melee and very intellectual and good at medical. So they're kind of a crazy kind of research doctor who can do lots of things, but is generally, well, can do fighting and medical and research, but is pretty crap at everything else. And whereas someone like Lolita has a kind of a fair amount across the board. So you might want to go across and you might want to say, well, I want to pick a reasonably balanced kind of a team. They've got social and mining. You know, they look okay. We're not going to go with the old dude. I think she's a bit limited. He's a bit limited in terms of that. They're a bit limited. They're very limited. They're not good at shooting in melee, but they're kind of okay with everything else. So you might pick those 3 and you say hold, and that will generate you into the map. And I will cut it there because I'm going to jump into my world, not this world. I'll see you in a sec. Right, so this is my world, and we've just landed. What have we landed on? What kind of creature is this? A hugger? A female yak. Okay, we've got a female yak. So we've landed here, and there is some stuff around us. There's some critters, whatever that is. It's a boomalope. We've got some stuff that we can mine. We've got some old building remains left behind. We got some odds and sods and bits and pieces. So, and this is something that you mine. This, it should hopefully say what that is, but it doesn't. So, right, we gotta get things done. So it's currently in pause. Now, if you want to know that, over here, R2 you can do circle, X, square, and triangle to do all of that kind of jazz. So there's a couple of things we need to get sorted straight away when we get started here. If we head over to Architect, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to build, and we're going to want to build some kind of a shelter. We can build it up against this mesa thing, I guess. We don't want to make it too crazy. Let's make it 12 by 12. And that ought to give us a good size. You're going to need to put a door in it. I guess that's where our door is going to go, seeing as that was already there. And the other thing we're going to want to do is, sorry, we're going to want to put beds in. So they're going to want beds, which is furniture. So this is a bed. So we'll put a bed there and a gap, and a bed there and a gap, and that's all fine. And it's going to want light, which is going to be a torch. Now the issue I have with torches is once you place torches, you can't then use that portion of the wall. So it is a bit annoying. And if this is anything like Stranded Alien Dawn, if it's too dark, people get like depression and stuff. So you do have to. You can't just say, "Well, I'm not going to put any lighting in." You do have to put some in. So it is a bit of a nuisance like that. So we've done that, and we've done that, and one of the other things we're going to need is we're going to need a stove, and we want a fueled stove because that's fueled by wood, and you can see here that it shows you where the chair is, which is sort of, you know, shows you the right way around. So we have our accommodation sorted. That will be fine for them for now. There's something else that we need, though. We need to set up a zone for stockpiling. So we want to be able to keep all of our gear together, and they will do that eventually. So if we make this, let's say we make this 6 by 6, which is that, and then we go back to our structure and we make a wall. That should stay there. I don't think I've done that right. So stockpile zone. It should stay. It should not go away. Yeah. Are you there now? So this comes out. Oh, sorry. This should come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will have to come out 7. And this should come down 7. And then across. And then we're going to need a door. And we put that there. Now if I go back to my zone and I have a look at my zone, is it still in here? That's 6 by 5 now. Did I miscount? I did miscount. It doesn't matter. I think it's fine. It seems to suggest that that it is a stockpile zone. This is not a zone. You can make it a zone, I think. If you go in here, no. If you go in, where's zones here? And you call that a loud area, you've got roof area. It's just home area. Oh, so this is what it's calling my home. Well, we want to call this also our home. Thank you. So that's very good. And then we are also going to come out here, let's say there, because the other thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do a garden. So that was that by that or something. So we've set the garden, and then when you have set the garden, you can interact with that. And you can say, what are we going to grow? And you can choose hay grass, potato plant, rice plant, strawberry plant. We're going to grow spuds, right? So they're going to grow spuds in here. Now, before we let everybody get started, there's a few other things that we have to do. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to give people some orders to chop some stuff down, because we want some wood. So what you can do here is you can either select things individually like this and say, well, we're going to do that, and we're going to want to chop all this down and various other bits and pieces. Or you can just say, I want you to chop down everything in this area. Right? It's all in our home area. A lot of it is where we're going to build, and that's fine. That is stuff that we have to do. And then you want cut plants as well. And we're going to say, well, we want you to do the same with plants around our home area, but a little bit closer. So that then gives them a whole lot of tasks to do. This is a guinea pig. No, this is steel. So steel, we need to allow that. Where there's an X, they won't touch it. If you hit this, then they will touch it and they will be able to take it away. If you double, yeah, if you double and allow, it will pick all of the same things. We're only going to have one of those. We've got a couple of those. We're only going to have one of those. We're going to have a few of those. So we'll double click. No, that's a person. No, that's a person. Thank you. We're going to allow those. We're going to allow those. We're going to allow those. And we're going to allow those. Right. Have a look around, because there's sometimes stuff here, you know, and you can just say, yeah, we're going to allow all of that. And there's rocks and things that you're potentially going to need, so we're going to allow that. And I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else in our immediate area. We've got some things over here, which again are some rocks and stuff. We've got steel walls from a previous settlement that hopefully we can recover. And we've got things that we can mine. But we want to make sure we get our house built first. We want to make sure we get this sorted first. And we want to make sure we get our people organized. Now, we can select our people here. So Susan. Susan's character traits. Where is her stats? Right, so she's not very good at shooting. Well, she's a 5. So we need to pick who's going to have a gun. So Lexi, Lexi, what are your? That's your health, Lexi. What are your stats? Shooting is nil. So I'm not gonna. And your construction, mining, and cooking are nil. You're good with plants and animals. Wow. Okay, we'll remember that. We'll remember that. And then we have, yeah, Lexi. We can't have that person be Lexi. That doesn't make sense. We'll have to change their name because we've got Rincewind and we've got Susan Stohellett. And I don't know how we ended up with Lexi. It's meant to be someone completely different, but there you go. So we got Rincewind here. What's Rincewind's stats? Rincewind is also a dreadful shooter, but very good at construction and crafting. So we'll remember that. So the best shooter we have only one shooter in Susan. Right, okay, well, if that's the case, I am going to get Susan to equip that. And you may as well equip that. You won't equip that because you're just no good at it. Will you equip the knife at least? He is incapable of violence. Rincewind. At least Rincewind can carry that revolver. So we've got someone who is incapable of violence. That's not an awesome thing, but there you go. So they're gonna get equipped. I think Susan could probably do with equipping that, and maybe Rincewind could do with equipping that. And the rest of it will get picked up. The scrap stuff, there's various other bits and pieces and all the rest of it that will go wherever it is going to go. So we are going to let them carry on, and we are going to let them see what they can come up with. People need warm clothes, they need beds. Is this Hugger? I think this is our pet, which is a bit weird. Because we're gonna have to make an area for our pet, which is an animal sleeping spot, which I think is that. Normally you have a cat or a dog. I don't know how we ended up with a yak. I mean, that's kind of good. Let's see what happens. We'll get to the first night time and see what happens. But you see, off they go, and they're away, and they're doing stuff, and they're busy, and they're all of the rest of it. I want them to do the house, and then what I might want to do is, can you prioritize building this? Not sure I can. I think, do you have to... Oh! Sorry. Something before I get started on that. Down here in colonies work. Right, so this is where we determine how we allocate people jobs. It's a complicated matrix, I'm not going to lie, but you see these a lot, and it's slightly better on perhaps this mode. I mean, I suppose it doesn't really matter. You can see the things that they absolutely will not do, and you can see the things that they are very bad at. Now, what we've determined here is this character that we're currently calling Lexi is a pacifist who's really dreadful at things. It might be good if we made them a doctor, at least. They're awful at it, but there you go. Everyone can fight fires, everyone can be a patient, and everyone can do bed rest, and everyone can do basic. So, but you need to pick a doctor. So we're picking Lexi at the minute for the doctor. Then you've got wardens. Wardens come in later, I think, when you've got prisoners. We don't need to worry about wardens now. Handling stuff, everybody can handle stuff. I don't want people doing that. We have not a lot of very good cooks, so Rincewind's going to end up being a cook. Susan is really going to be the person doing the hunting. We definitely want Rincewind doing the construction because he is good at it. Lexi's very good at the growing, so given that they're not doing much. We've got mining, nobody is very good at except Rincewind. We've got plant cutting, which I'm going to also get Susan at. Susan's good for that. Tailoring and stuff is really going to sit with Rincewind, I think. Hauling, everybody is going to do. Cleaning, everybody is going to do. And then we've got some research that people can do. You then go down here and set your priorities. So your priorities are, you know, what are they going to do if it needs doing? Well, you know what? Everybody should fight fires. And we want that person being... We want people to prioritize resting in bed. The basic stuff is basic stuff. We might move that down to 2. Handling things. It's an interesting phrase, handling. What does handling mean? It's not hauling things, so it's not moving things around. It is kind of shifting things. It's a bit weird. We want to make cooking a priority, and we want to make hunting a priority, because if you don't... In fact, I might make that a 2, because sometimes if you make hunting too high a priority, that's all they do. Construction at this stage is probably a priority. Growing, we can move them down. Plant cutting is probably that. Mining, I'm not in a rush for. Smithing, tailoring, arts, crafts. Hauling, yes, we want to do. Cleaning, we'll move down, right? So we've adjusted those out as much as we can. That sets the priorities for what people are doing, so they can carry on doing what they are doing. But I think you can usually prioritize these. I think you might have to go to orders. Or do you select a person? So you might pick Rincewind and then say, you know, prioritize the fuel. But Miss Susan's already working on that, which is great because we want that. We're going to want food real soon. Now, I'll just stop it here. You'll see there's something yellow cropped up next to Rincewind. That means Rincewind's feeling a bit down about something. I don't know what it is just yet, but he's looking a little bit down about something. He's chilly. He's in minor pain for some reason, and he's a natural depressive. That kind of sounds like Rincewind. So you have to watch the traits for your characters, because it will have some issues. Now, once we've got the stove built, we have to do something called bills. And we need to add a bill. And we want to be able to do... oh, it's this way? Despite the fact that it says R up and down, it's the left stick that moves it. So there you go. So we've put in 10. So they're going to cook 10 meals. I'm going to need to keep an eye on that because they are going to want food, right? So they are going to want food. So they're carrying on. They're building their stuff. They've got steel out here, which is fine. They can pick that up. Got rhinos! Hey, rhinos! Oh, what's this? Monkeys. Right. Monkeys are dangerous. So what we need to do here as well is one more thing for our characters. is in settings. What do you do when you have an enemy? You're going to have to fight it. Because, and if they're a doctor, they can self-tend themselves. But it says you must also be assigned to doing doctor work to do that. So we will do that with uh, everybody. Colony, work. So Rincewind can look after himself. So Susan's the only one that can't doctor herself, which is a bit of a worry. So we have Susan here. Looks like she's got a moustache at the minute, but she absolutely doesn't have a moustache. We'll go to settings. So her reaction to an enemy is attack the enemy. Otherwise, like, they don't naturally attack things. I don't know if this character is actually going to be able to do it or not. Because they will only ignore it or flee. What they do if they're attacked by an enemy is they try and run away, and then they get killed because they're not very good at it. And monkeys are particularly dangerous. So what we want to do is we want to set monkeys to hunt. And in fact, I think you can just set all of them to hunt. So if we're going to hunt anything, let's hunt monkeys. Because they're vicious little critters. They really are. So, and they will kill you. They will kill you. I don't know if they kill yaks. I feel like our yak is going to need a pen. Yeah, a pen is needed. So, is it structures? We have a fence, an egg box, a pen marker. A post with a sign it must be placed in an area enclosed by fences, barricades, or walls. Right. So what we want to do is we want to put this fence down here, and then that's where we can put our thing. That's a gate. So we can put the fence gate there, and then we have a pen marker. Right? So we've set up a pen. We've got a sleeping spot. We can get Dorothy, what's her name? Hugger, in here. And then we got that. Right, so let's hope that works, because otherwise we're in trouble. What do you want? Help doing stuff. You are helping stuff. Right, let's speed it up a bit. What have we got over here? A snake! Holy badooties! We got tortoises. Nobody get bitten by the snake, for heaven's sake. I might have to just stop that. Where's Susan? Susan. Can I get you to hunt that? And can I select Susan? And can I get her to prioritize this? I think I have to do it through orders. Animal. Hunt. Must designate a huntable animal. Okay, I don't know if she can do that. I don't know how to prioritize tame. Tame a cobra? I have struggled to find out how you prioritize things. Because it seems to be that there's no way to, like, how do I make her do that through an order? I only have things like whole things, allow things, cut things, hunt things, release to the wild, you know, and this kind of thing. Open a container, claim a neutral space, strip apparel from corpses and wounded, place a plan so that you can help you plan future stuff. Are you lying down? I shouldn't see why you're lying down. That's not accurate. Right, there's something else that we need to do. We need to do our schedules. So this is something else that you will have seen in other things, which is a schedule. So they go to sleep at 10 o'clock at night. And we want to set when they're doing things so that they don't just... They'll do anything if these are blank. But we could say, you know, we could do like 3, give her a couple of hours of, or in fact just have, you know, 1 hour of anything, and then we could say 3 hours of work, 1 hour of anything, 3 hours of work, and 3 hours of anything. Then they can do whatever they like. They should hopefully choose recreation as well. And you might say you want to like stagger this and say, well, you know, we don't want everybody down at the same time, because that can sometimes be a bit of a problem. So we want maybe 2 recreation and anything, and then work, and then yeah, maybe Rincewind does a long stint. Maybe he prefers long stints, right? And then stuff like that. So we set those, and then people have actually some breaks set aside to do things. So everyone should be hauling stuff. Everyone should be doing stuff. Everyone, he's probably on a break. Yeah, he's on a recreational break. We can give them a little something to do for recreational. We can go down to here. There's recreation. Not a lot we can do. We can get them to build a chess table out of wood if we wanted to, or a poker table if we had cloth and stuff, or billiards. A chess table might be good. We could pop a chess table in here somewhere near the end of that bed where they could play a little bit of chess, and that wouldn't be too bad. One of the other things we're going to want to build down here in the productivity is we're going to want our research bench somewhere. So let's put our research bench here. So that gives us a little bit of an opportunity to learn some research when we need to do some research. So there they go, off on the things that they're doing. Hopefully no one's getting themselves into trouble. We'll let them haul the bits and pieces that they're doing, so they're hauling everything under cover. They will automatically put a roof on, which is pretty good. So they will automatically put a roof on. You can see it's coming up 5 o'clock. It's coming up towards the end of the day. We almost have a ancient danger. Right, what the heck is this? Rincewind draws near the ancient wall, a sense of foreboding, but he feels that this dusty structure may contain great danger. Oh, I see. Why has it taken me there? Why did it take me all the way over there? Right, is that Rincewind? The ancient wall may contain great danger. Right, I don't think that we want to mine that wall then. That might be something we want to avoid. And why is Hugger all the way over here? So do we have any way of getting Hugger? Or is Hugger just gone? No allowable reachable pens. I think Hugger just may be gone. Maybe we'll have to recover Hugger later. What's that thing? A chunk of ship. Right, there's the roof going up. So it's 9 o'clock at night. We've got mostly a secured space. So Hugger went to sleep in Hugger's enclosure, which is pretty good. And Rincewind should probably go to bed. There we go. End of day 1. So we've managed to make it through our first day, which is awesome news. Very awesome news. Nothing strange or startling is happening. And that's great. I did say there is a lot of stuff to try and remember and try and get through. And it's just a case of trying to remember the basics. Inventory wise, we have 42 packaged survival meals. But it doesn't tell me if we're actually cooking anything. I don't know what we need to cook in terms of like a recipe. There's like all kinds of weird menus at the bottom, and I don't know what they mean for amount. You've got settings. So it goes to the stockpile. You can allow any cooking skill. You can choose any amount of ingredients. You can go to any radius and so on. So I'm hoping that they should cook food when they need food. What are you doing? Oh, you're chopping something down. So hopefully they should be, able to do that when they are able to do that. I don't know why this is here because Susan is supposed to be equipped with that, and I must have missed something because Rincewind is supposed to be equipped with that. And what is this? These are a pair of pants. I think force wear synth red pants. Okay. Someone was loading guns and things. It's good to see that Hugger's still asleep, and Hugger's off. I hear you, Yak. I don't know if you have to feed the Yak, to be fair. No, that's slaughtering animals. I have Hugger. And a bunch of things here. What's this say? Life stage. The animal can be released to attack distant targets. The animal will rescue wounded allies. Will follow its master while drafted. Follow its master while doing field work. It's bonded to a master or not. We're not going to be slaughtering it. We don't need to give it any medicine. We're not releasing it. And we want it to be in a pen eventually. Because I'm sure there'll be like creatures out here. Oh, look, a geezer that will eat it somewhere. I don't see any predators at the minute. What are these? Llamas? Alpacas? And oh, the rotten meat flour, whatever you want to call it. So still a bunch of those monkeys. A dead monkey. Okay. Did we shoot it? And I hope we did. Like I say, the dreadful, nasty, horrible little critters. So, what's this? Guinea pig. Guinea pig. We can hunt guinea pigs. Guinea pigs are good. Beware of the ancient danger. It's a slate wall. Right. I still think we got a lot of trees to cut down. So that's architect. It's an order for cutting down trees. I see a lot of cut plants in there. Not that many trees, but there are a few. So we'll carry on with that. Because we nearly got the pen made. We're working on the research desk, and then we'll have a quick look at research. Right, there we go. So, research. So we got research, so we can have a look at the research thing. So this is what you get. Lots of stuff. Got Neolithic and Medieval down here. Albeit here we have smithing, long blades, and plate armor. I guess that's your medieval. Then you have your industrial age, batteries, hydroponics, solar panels, etc. Which is great for power and various other things and bits and pieces that you obviously potentially need. Auto doors. Down here you've got things like precision rifling for assault rifles. You've got multi-barrel miniguns. You've got transport pods. You've got all kinds of, what is this? Uranium slug turrets. This looks like, yeah, mech armor kind of stuff. Right down to the bottom where you've got a Johnson Tanaka drive for your ship, Starship reactor. And a bunch of other stuff They do call it crypto sleep, not cryo sleep, so I don't know what that's about. And, you know, advanced fabrication and things. So, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? What do we want to do? And how do you get research? I absolutely don't know. It's time at the bench. So, I think what would be really good is, because we are in the modern world, is we would like to get power right off the bat. Power would be very important for us. It looks like Susan's out to... She's going to shoot that guinea pig. I can't believe you're going to take a rifle to shoot a guinea pig and you've missed it twice. 3 times. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to rely on you. Not sure I'm going to rely on you at all. Well, she's on the hunt. She's determined to get that guinea pig. Alright, she hit it. It's a heck of a distance, Susan. I don't want you getting too close to those monkeys. So, I wonder if I can prioritize her to allow her to deal with that. And then can I go to the architect and give her an order to slaughter it? She won't do it. I don't know how I just don't know how I get people to do what I'm asking them to do. Because if she goes too near those monkeys... So she's killed that, which is fine, but she hasn't gone to butcher it, which is a bit weird, but I don't want to send her to butcher it because it is too close. That is also a dead monkey. I just don't know how I get her to butcher a monkey. She just doesn't want to. Oh, because that's slaughter, maybe? Must designate a huntable animal. Slaughter a tame animal. Hunt a live animal. There's no butchery. Oh, the other thing is, I don't have a butchery block. I don't have a butchery block. So we do have one of those. You can get those from... what is she shooting at now? Is it productivity? Is it over here? Butcher spot. A place. Butchering yields only 70%. Butchering table. For butchering dead creatures. So we can put like a butcher block. Do you have to put it inside? No, we could put it here, but we wouldn't put it there. Why wouldn't it let me put it there? Because there's a tree in the way? It doesn't want me to do it up against the wall? Don't want me to do it there for no particular purpose? I don't know what the rules are. Can we put it there? It will have a work speed penalty because it's out of doors. Well, you know what we can do with that? We can do... you can do... no, where is it? Is it... It's a zone. You can do a roof area. So we can make this a little roofed area. Cannot build a roof over a palm tree. Okay, can we chop the palm tree down? We just have to wait for it to be chopped down. Okay, fancy yourself. What's she doing now? She's still running around shooting monkeys? That's great. You just keep doing that. Is anybody making any food? Uninstall, reinstall, forbid, toggle, build a copy, deconstruct. No. So, are they cooking things? That's what I want to know. Because when I come down here to foods, yes, so we've cooked one simple meal and we've picked up some milk and we've got packaged survival meals. I don't need to have that pinned. So I think we're feeding people. What is your problem? Nothing, I think. You're just tired. What is your problem? Nothing, I think. You are just moving around. Where are you going now? Yeah, there are berries. That's a good point. But, will allow you to harvest the berries, actually. I think you'll probably be fine harvesting berries over here. I don't think we're too far away from our camp. That will be a problem. So we got some potatoes on the grow, which is great. Well, it looks like we already built the roof. So there is a way you can check this. I think it's... there's different layers. Yeah, so that's my... Is that my roof layer? I think. Roofed, yeah, show roof, show terrain. None, beauty, fertility, so we can see fertile areas. Item labels, we have none, and we have roof. So we've roofed that area out a bit. I don't know if we'd call it, you know, indoors. We might want to put a little roof on for what's its chop, so that there's a little roofed area there for our hugger, the yak, wherever the yak has gone to. He's over there. We still haven't built our pen for our yak. I don't know what happens, like whether it just wanders around by itself. You can restrict it to a pen, but I need to see when the pen is built, when that happens. So it's 7 o'clock at night, day 2. We're still alive. We are still alive. Everyone is still alive. Nobody has died. Right, let's speed things up to the end of the day. Where the heck is she? She's out shooting all kinds of things. Right, I'm just looking around to see if there's any predators roaming around at night. A lot of rhinos sleeping. The alpacas are sleeping. Well, I don't see any predators, so that's good. So it's pretty chill. Pretty chill. So now the problem I have is, so we have a pen, but Hugger is not in it. So how do we get Hugger into the pen? So we need to go to our colony, and we have our animals, and we have this. No? Why is Hugger not in a pen? Do we need to set it as a pen? Is it a zone? No. Right, how do I get Hugger into the pen? Right, this is the next thing. No allowed reachable pens. There's a gate right here. There's a gate right there. How does this work? I put a pen marker in here, didn't I? A wooden pen marker. It has it down as a building. Do I need to change that marker? How do you... What was it? Architect? Was it productivity? No? Was it zones? No. Must be placed barricades, walls, and doors. Assign a set of animals, and handlers will bring animals to an appropriate. You can assign each pen marker a set of animals. Okay. How that has it listed as a building, and what does it want me to do? I don't want to build a copy of it. I want to understand a wooden pen marker. See this I don't like, because it's like, well, this is too hard. Why can I not assign? How do I assign? How do I assign this training? It's not going to do any of those things. Right. It's got relations, it's got logs, it's got settings, movement, reaction, food, self-tend, medical care. It's social, is it? Pardon me. It needs food. It doesn't have any relationships formed. How do I get it to the pen? I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. If I go to... what did I say? It's not security, it's not power. It's not recreation or ritual or floors. It's not wildlife. It's definitely colony. These are my colony animals. But I cannot assign it to a pen, because it says it's not in a pen. How do I get it to be in a pen? I don't want to build a copy. I don't want it forbidden. I don't understand. I don't understand. Right, we'll have to carry on, because we're going to run out of time while you watch me rather frustratedly go through why I can't figure out how to get an animal into a pen, which is crazy, isn't it? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that is kind of hard about a game like this, is that it doesn't tell you how to select that. It gives you an indication. It says this is a pen and you need to put an animal in it. You can designate the animal to a pen, but then they're not recognizing that this is a pen, even though there's a pen marker, and even though this pen is the size that it is, even though it is down, I think this is... no, it's not as a zone, is it? But it's part of my home. Part of my home area, and I don't need to expand the snow clear area. Junk. There's a dumping stockpile area. Could we dump that stuff out there just in case? Yeah, I'm mightily confused. Mightily confused I am. You can see how far we're getting with research. You can see how far we're getting with a bunch of stuff. I don't know where these are all off to. Where are you off to? What are you off to pick up? You're going all the way down here for what? A dead snake? Dude! Are you crazy? And you are bringing us a dead monkey, which is great. I wonder if anyone has... can I get you to... I can't just like pick people and say, can you... needs more wood. Why don't you chop some flippin' wood down? There's bunches of wood everywhere. Oh! You can pick up those packaged survival meals. What are you in search of? The dead guinea pig? Où est la grande Sarah? Wow, they are going really far. They will go really, really far. Apparently, if you don't keep an eye on them. I might think about restricting them to a little bit of an area here. Um, before they get themselves into trouble wandering too far. I see we are picking up dead animals and dead food, which is, well, dead animals, um, which is great. But I do have my concerns. Anyway, I'm going to call it there. This is Rimworld, everybody. This is what the first hour looks like. A lot of abject chaos. We're doing okay, I reckon. Everybody's alive for now. That's a start. We've got a couple of things to iron out for absolute sure, and this is where the game does not help you with things like how do you create an animal pen. So we've got stuff going on, we've got things happening, stuff are all occurring and everything else. This is my first look, first hour. This is going to become a series. I have said it will become a series, so I will be doing more of these. I do hope you like it. If you do like it, hit that like. Do subscribe to the channel. Do click the bell notification so you know when the next one is coming out. Do feel free to drop any comments, tips, tricks, hints of your own. If you have played this game, I would love to hear from you. If you're thinking about buying it, I would also love to hear from you. And I will see you all for a new adventure on Rimworld real soon. Hopefully. Anyway, ta-ta for now.